If you're looking for a new neighborhood located in Southeast Barrie, take a deep dive with me into Hewitt's Creek neighborhood.
One of the biggest mistakes I see home buyers making is they choose the house before the neighborhood and lifestyle. Today I'm taking you through Hewitt's Gate in Southeast Barrie. In this video, you're going to see a variety of townhomes. That's the main focus that I'm going to cover off in this area. The neighborhood is about 4 years old, started construction in 2021. There is still more room for growth. I see a lot of available land behind me, so you're going to see some expansion of this area.
There are planned expansions of Hewitt's Gate neighborhood. There'll be a mix of towns, mix of detached properties, and some park areas.
Price points. Well, we're going through a few styles, so they're going to vary, but you can find a 3-bedroom townhome in this area under $6. I'm seeing $575, $585 with great floor plans. I'm seeing a variety of different styles as well in that $530, $540 range, and even some as low as $5. This is a new concept that I haven't seen before in the community. I think it's phenomenal. It offers affordability for that first-time buyer to get into the market. There's 4 units in this structure. All have garages, all have decent parking. No back, no rear yards, but it is what it is. What I like about it is the price point. One sold in the area recently for $499. That's a entry level for somebody to get into the market without kind of feeling that you're living in a condo and paying common element fees. I think it's a brilliant idea. I think it's a smart idea to get people into the market and into home ownership. Where's Hewitt's Gate? It's a Southeast Barrie location, close to 400 highways, shopping, amenities. It's an ideal location for commuters. It's very close to Highway 400. You're going to like this area because it has lots of other mixes of properties in it, and the developer's Pratt Homes, and they're very famous for adding not just rows and rows of townhomes. They mix in some detached, and you know what, that is good for resale value. I love seeing developments with that mix, so you're getting a mix of different price points. So we're on Hay Lane. I'm going to flip the camera around in a minute to give you an idea of the style, and we'll talk about the price points. 3-bedroom. This side right here, probably to expect a $535, $545 range max for 3 bedrooms, maybe a bit lower depending. There's no rear yards, and we're seeing this in the last 10 years become popular in communities, especially a growing community like Barrie. But what makes it attractive is that the affordability piece, and that's what's attracting buyers to this neighborhood, is they can get in the mid-5s and have some size. Some of these layouts are great. Some are under 1,000 square feet, but we're going to go through a lot of them today that show great layouts. One drawback, limited parking. 1 spot in the garage. So if you're a 2-car family, guess what? One's parking in the garage. But there's one thing that I do like what they have done. As you can see, there's no parking of cars on the street. And what I like about that is there's no parking signs. So other subdivisions that are fairly new, I don't see these signs. So I think this is great for, safety of the community, emergency vehicles, etc. So this side of Hay has rear yards. Some will probably have a walkout at the living area. Price points, one sold 2 weeks ago, $75, 3-bedroom. Decent value. You will see stairs in these units. You kind of come in the main level and you kind of have a 2-piece bath, usually maybe even a small room, and then you walk up to the main level, kitchen, living area, dining, and then one more flight for the bedrooms. But what I like about that style, it has layout. It has a great floor plan. These homes, who are they ideal for? First-time buyers. You're going to also see a fairly good size of investor purchases in here. There is a lot of properties that have been leased out in this area, and that's normal due to the price point. So I always suggest, before deciding on a neighborhood, and I'm big on it, is always take your time driving through it, walking through it, get a feel for it. What's the pride of ownership like? What's the demographic like? What's the parking like? What's the amenities like? There's just so much to consider before shelling out $500,000-$600,000 on a property.
These stackable townhomes offers a affordable way to get into the housing market. These homes typically sell less than other freehold townhomes in the
lane, but the reason why is there's lots of different styles. So I kind of want to go through more of the different styles. So as we progress through other streets, you'll get an idea for them. One thing too that I didn't mention is that these are all freehold. There's no common element fee attached. I don't think there's a pottle fee, which is a parcel of tied land. Usually what happens with that is that there's a fee for snow plowing, removal, and garbage as the city doesn't come through here. For whatever reason, I never seen any comments on any of the listings that I've reviewed before doing the video. So I think you're pretty safe. So let's flip the camera around. Okay, same. I call these back-to-back towns. Great floor plans. I've seen some sell in the mid 75, as I mentioned. Up further, you're going to see it a little bit higher. What you'll see is, of course, the ones with the rear yards are definitely going to get some more funds for those properties. But these type of homes in this neighborhood, like this style, is becoming very popular with builders. And the municipalities are kind of forcing some of these developers, well, most, at least in this community, for affordable housing. So it's a great way to keep the costs down. And there's sacrifices. You don't have a yard, but you have a home, you have a decent floor plan, and you're not paying a common element fee that you'd be paying in a condo. And definitely energy efficient. You're not going to see high bills, high heating, high electricity, depending on the usage, of course, but they're pretty energy efficient with the latest materials that the developers are using today. These homes on Hay are a little bit different style. They're more roomy. Floor plans are 1,500 square feet to 16, more 15 range. Same kind of parking. And as I mentioned before, the floor plans are outstanding. And that's what I like about some of the new builds and the new designs and architecture is because of some of the floor plans. And I've seen some horrible floor plans too, but in the last 3 to 4 years, I've seen some different floor plans, and they're roomy. Again, this neighborhood is ideal for a first-time home buyer. On a silo mews, same kind of styles. So properties that we went through, I'm going to flip the camera around in a minute, that we went through on Hay, we're on the rear side of silo mews, where they're back-to-back. I'll flip the camera around. I'm really loving the no parking on the streets. That's just a big plus. And the city of Barrie really enforces it. So you can see that because there's no cars. So great, because you're going to see a lot of young kids. You can see young families in this area, and it becomes so dangerous with these cars parked on the side, can't see, kids are running out. So definitely a bonus. Hats off to enforcement for putting these things in, and the developer for making sure it's in. It's just a safety concern that a lot of areas, newer areas that I've been through, don't have that. So if you got a young family, you could feel a lot safer in this neighborhood due to not worrying about cars parked all over the streets, because parking's limited. Parking is limited with these type of homes and these type of developments. If anyone has any questions on this neighborhood, definitely reach out to me, 705-309-5300, or just have a question or leave a comment in the video. Gateway. So the properties on this side have rear yards. Flip this around. You can expect a price point. It's 25 to 645, 50, depending on what's the finishes, depending on the floor plan. You're going to see the bigger driveway. So for the 2-car rule, or 2 cars in the family, it could work. The developer did put fences in the rear. As I mentioned, more development across as well. So it's an area for affordability. It's really close to Inishore, which is one of the fabulous areas in Barrie. And this Mapleview East area is consistently getting developed. There is lots of builders in the area. We're not seeing building growth happening now, just to the market, the way the market is performing, the way the market is sluggish. But it's coming, there's more growth. Here's where we're seeing the mix. I'm not gonna go into these detached. You're gonna see that throughout the community, that you're gonna see detaches mixed in, which again is always great for resale value. Let me give you some stats in that price range of 5 to 6, what we're seeing in the Barrie real estate market. The latest stats that we have are for June. We've seen a 61% increase in transactions in that price point for the month of June. We've consistently been seeing 40, 50, but June was a big month, and it's kind of normal. We see a big little increase in June, still part of that spring market. But people are asking, well, with that kind of an increase in transactions, you must be seeing prices increase in that range. And the answer is no, we're not. This market is very price sensitive. We're not at that level of seeing increases right now. I'll take you through Wagon Lane and a couple different styles in here that I think this will complete the tour of the area where we saw a lot of different styles this morning, and with yards, without yards, back to back, smaller floor plans, bigger floor plans, and that other property that I showed where we had 4 units in it, which I think is phenomenal. So let me flip this camera around so you can kind of see, some good floor plan in here. It's got some good depth. These homes will be 625, 650, but there's a good section of them. So you have a lot of choice in different styles in this community, in different price ranges. Again, this community is ideal for first-time buyers or investors. One of those 4-unit ones. So I'm going to assume the front units are going to have the balconies as the rear yards. I noticed a rear yard in the back, so probably the lower level unit facing the rear would be their yard. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm almost pretty positive. Again, under 500,000. And again, they're mixing them in. So here, decent floor plan, a lot larger, probably 1,525 square foot floor plan. I can see a rear deck off the probably kitchen area with a yard. Price point, same, 625, 650, in that range. As I mentioned, really ideal for someone that's commuting to GTA markets in the city for work. Schools, that's gonna be the next question for a lot of people with kids. Maple Ridge new high school, just 200 feet from this location. Brand new high school about 3 or 4 years ago. Hyde Park is another public school. So schools within a walking distance, which is definitely important for families. There will be also, you'll see some of these schools today carrying or having and providing childcare as well. In my neighborhood videos, I always provide a section near the end. It's called Everything Within 5 Minutes. I'll cover off some footage of the schools, nearby amenities within 5 minutes of the community. If you're considering a move to Barrie and want some honest advice, please feel free to reach out. Every neighborhood is different in the community, and choosing the right one is so important. And it's always a big philosophy of mine is that pick the lifestyle, pick the neighborhood, then pick the house. And you get in that order, and I feel that you can't go wrong. Too many people get caught up in picking the house first. They're in opposite directions, and all of a sudden they move in, and months later they're unhappy, or years later. You don't want that. You can't make that financial mistake today. Final thoughts on the neighborhood. I think it's a great southeast location, new development. It's going to be higher density. Mapleview is the main artery in the community. It's going to be busy. That's one drawback. But in this part, I don't find it busy. I didn't see a lot of traffic flow moving around. I love the idea of no parking on the streets. That's just a bonus. In most neighborhoods today in Barrie, you can park on the streets till about, I think it's mid-November until April. So you always will see some parking. Yes, I see some parking on the streets here, but it's very designated to one side, and it's usually the bigger main artery into this neighborhood. So again, pick your neighborhood wisely. Any questions, please feel free to reach out. I'm Mark Turcotte from Right Home Realty. I'm here to help you make better real estate decisions.
Wide variety of big box retailers, small boutiques, and some of the fabulous restaurants that Barrie has to offer today. The beach is Barrie's most popular water destination. Sandy beaches, playground equipment, splash pads, and so much more. The waterfront trails on Kempfelt Bay go for kilometers, connecting beaches, marinas, into the downtown core.